What's going on, world? Welcome to the CSR Racing 2 community. This is MrXsee coming to you live and direct today with a live stream for the Prestige Cup. I was knocking out the last little bit of fuel that I had left in my tank so that way I can fuel up with 30 fuel pips before I started these races on off. And also I wanted to set my car back up to the normal setup that I start these Prestige Cup races with. And for those of you who are not familiar, I like to always start off the cars with stage 3 and do as many races as we can until we can stop on stage 3, and then we'll go ahead and pull some crates. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this all started up, and thank you very much. If those of you have not been following, I've been actually doing the cruise season races, and I have a series of videos. So every day I'm recording all of the races that we do in the cruise season. For those of you who are not familiar with it, go ahead and take a look at those whenever you get an opportunity to. But also, please make sure that you take the time to like, comment, and subscribe to any of the videos that you like and be a part of the community. If there's anything in particular that you want to see, go ahead and make those comments, and I'll go ahead and get those videos together for you as well. All right, with that being said, let me go ahead and purchase the fuel and get this racing started. Alrighty. So now we're going to purchase 30 fuels pips because the races are 30 races in order to complete the challenge. And if everything works out well, it'll be 30 straight races for me. What's going on, Remix? What's going on, Anonymous Gang? And what's going on, Zachary? Welcome to the live stream. Get that on in there for you guys. I personally don't use Instagram, Mr. Remix CSR2, but maybe I can go ahead and communicate out there with you on here. So now we got here, we're taking a look at my garage. This is the normal car that I always start off my videos with 95% of the time. The CSR Racing 2 Chiron Red. But this season's Prestige Cup car is actually a car that we received as Milestone 1 back in season 18, I believe it was. Let's see. Yep, season 18. This is the first 6 milestone cars that we received. The next 6, which makes it a total of 12. And then this car was the last one in that season and made it season 18. Now, one thing I did do was I kind of fiddled around earlier with the tuning, talking with some of my crewmates. And my car is set up where I have negative numbers in there. So let's go ahead and fix that. Reset everything back to stock. Upgrade is needed, so I don't have to worry about setting that, and set the tires back. So there we go. We're back to normal. The car is basically set up stage 3. I have fusions all on it. I have 79 fusions. I have 39 out of 42 upgrades and 79 out of 128. Tuning, no tuning until after we put all the upgrades on there fully, completely ready to go. Awesome. Which Chiron do you have? Do you have the Chiron Red Edition or do you have the regular Chiron? And if it's the regular one, which color do you have it in? I'll show you mine once we get done if you remind me. So quickly taking a look at my uncommon and my rare that I have on there. What's really slow? Can you be more specific? Alright, so I have blues and reds, so the rare and uncommons pretty much loaded up. All of them are covered all the way up to stage 5 or stage 6, but a few of them I don't have rares on, and I don't have those in my inventory to put onto the car, like the turbo, excuse me, the intake. I'm missing 2 blue, or the 2 uncommon ones I believe for that, and I believe turbo. No, I have everything for turbo. Maybe it's engine. Nope, not engine. Must be transmission that I'm missing there. Nope. Alright, looks like it's just the intake that I'm missing stage 6 for. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. Awesome. Now, did you take your Chiron Red and did you enable the functionality so that you can get the additional elite license on it as well, Remix, or did yours is just regular? Now we're going to go ahead and jump on into these races here. I was doing regulation to burn out the extra fuel that I had in there. I had 3 fuel pips. It was 2 and then it became 3. So I raced those on out, as you guys heard at the beginning of the stream before I started up the video portion of it. And if the audio for the music or the audio for the racing is too loud, please let me know. I can adjust the volumes on that. Alright, first up is going to be a Tier 4 Viper GTS. It's listed as an easy race, so we'll see how this goes. And also, this is the first time I've ever drove this car. Never drove it before at all. As you've seen earlier, it was 0 miles sitting on it. If you guys have not had a chance to take a look at my milestone videos, go ahead and take a look at the milestone 1 videos I created. I'm going to go forward, make milestone videos after we complete 6 successful seasons of collecting the car. So the first 30 cars, I have up 5 different videos. I have them all in one garage. Go through and take a look at them. Later on, I'm probably going to do a more detailed walkthrough with those cars. I'm going to go through my garage, and every car that I have fully maxed out with fusions on it, I'm going to go ahead and make a video up for it and post it up at some point in time in the future. Awesome. So with your car being elite, that means you got a 58% bonus on it every time you drive it. And unless you have the wild cards, in which the wild cards takes it up to being, I believe, 118 for the 70%, 88 for the 30%, and 208 for the 150%. That's what I have my car set up as. Only thing I'm not the biggest fan of with the car is that your amount of EV based off of the fusions that you have on there is really low. My car is basically maxed out. I have 132 of 135 fusions on my car, and the EV shows up as 1,137. So it doesn't get a lot of EV, but it's actually a pretty cool little car. I race it all the time for my Tier 5 races, anything that I can use a Tier 5 car, that's any car. Alright, so next up is going to be race number 3. That was a Ford Mustang GT350 that we just raced against. And now we get to race against a Camaro ZL1 1LE. I like that blue, looks fancy. But it looks like it's basically a stock setup on there. And since I have stage 3, mine is definitely going to be much faster. So that's why we have the blue screen there. Yep, I have a blue Chiron, and then I have the CSR red edition of the Chiron. Well, I find the problem with the Chiron is that if you max tune it, you don't find a lot of people swapping, because the lobbies that your Chiron gets into is basically, when you max tune it, a lobby where people are not going to trade with you because you can't win any of the races that you go up against. I know my Chiron Red, when I take it into the lobbies, most of the racers in there are running 9-3, 9-4. I even catch sometimes 9-1 racers, and I mostly do a 9-6 with it. Every now and then I can do a 9-5-8 or a 9-5-9. So most people don't want to swap with you when you're going that slow behind them, and that's more than likely due to the fact that you're getting low RP that you're giving out to them. So if you're giving them 200, 400, 500 RP, most people are not going to want to swap with you, because 500 RP per race equals out to 500 per swap equals out to 250 RP per race. And you can do better doing regulations than to be swapping with people getting that type of low RP. So that's something you have to consider with the amount of RP that you give out and why people don't actually swap with you. If you're giving out 2,000 RP, more than likely you're going to find people to swap with you. I raced earlier with somebody, and I was in my 918 Spider, and they wiggle-waggled all across the screen against me. And when the race finally ended, just sat there and waited, and after about either from 60 seconds to 90 seconds, it finally timed out and said that I won because the opponent disconnected, and they gave me 2,000 RP. I was like, oh, that was worth sitting around and waiting for. Alright, so collect the 9,000 crew points. And let's go ahead and keep rolling on. So RP per race is real wonky. It's unknown and undetermined on what you're getting from a racer as well as what you're giving to a racer. So that's why I personally prefer to only swap with people that I know. Yep, you have to find bots with different cars. Waiting on find bots only with one specific car, even though you may get the most amount of points with that car, is not always going to be that easy. It's going to require you to have a lot of patience. So I encourage people to have 2 to 5 cars that they swap with or that they race with, and they swap from different galleries for racing lobbies. The main reason I encourage that is at the end of the day, a lot of times you don't realize it, is that you can get into bad lobbies. So you can have your car tuned where it's doing a good 9.0 flat, and you can go into a lobby where everybody's racing 8.8 and 8.9, something that you can't even touch in your car. You don't race nothing but 9.0. That's the fastest you can race it. So by switching to a different car, going to a different lobby, you can potentially get better lobbies where you can take your car and you have chances to win races. So everybody's not into swapping. I personally like to race to win. And if I win, great. If I lose, great. Every now and then I'll swap with people, whether it's random strangers, but if it's somebody that I know from the global chat, I actually have devices in 2 different global chats, or people who actually give off good RP, then I'll be willing to swap with them. But for the most part, racing done, baby. Racing done, that's it. All right, collect those 20 tokens there. We're up to race 8. Once again, the car is sitting at stage 3 upgrades, and it's sitting with all fusion slots and all stage 3 upgrades, except for epics. So it has all common, uncommon, and it has all rare. I wish they would rename the uncommon to common, because it is very common to have those green ones. Once I get done with these, once I get to where I lose a race or it gets hard, I'm going to pull on out and we're going to go pull some crates. Everybody likes pulling crates, right? See, uncommon parts. They're pretty common. And certain uncommon parts are more common than other uncommon parts. Yeah, I don't swap a lot, but I do find it interesting. A lot of people have swap names up on there, and they actually do not swap. And in both my global chats, I find various different people, and it's consistently always the same people. But they complain that people are not fair traders. They don't want to trade. They don't want to swap. And I laugh because I run into people all the time who don't swap. They'll have up the win-loss icon with the little spiry rematch type thing, or they'll have just a W and the L, and they don't swap at all. I just laugh. It's like, oh, well, there goes another person don't like to swap. Keep it pushing. The goal of the game is to generate points, whether you're swapping by someone giving you points or you're winning by winning points. And if you can't win, then don't complain. Retune your car. Find another lobby to go into. Sound like you're going to be playing a lot there. Oh yeah, Anonymous Gang, someone else had commented on the video that the system is back up so they can transfer your account. So you can contact back support if you want and see if they can get your account swapped over for you and get your account set up back. It's worth going ahead and checking in with them and seeing. $15,000 RP for the crew. Earlier today in my main global chat that I talk in, somebody was running their mouth in the game. Ooh, that FXXK in white is pretty nice with the little red trim. It looks way, actually it's more like a gray white. It looks better than my white that I have. I have a white one with red accents on it. But earlier today, somebody in my global chat, I called them a slacker because some generic person was like, hey, you know, I need a crew to join, or someone want to join my crew, and they felt compelled to respond to them, nope. So I called them a slacker and told them to get back racing. And they told me that I was a slacker and that I need to go help my crew. So that white gray FXXK shows up as being the red one. Very interesting the game has been with their colors and the game cars that you race versus what they show up on here. Alright, so here go a green race. I think the last one was a green as well. But let's see what we can do. Nah, you're not the person that told me I was a slacker. If it was you, what was your name in the game? Because the only thing you've done is wrote on my videos that I haven't live streamed. So come on, tell me your name. Since you want to proclaim it was you, what name was you under? And that white GT turned into a blue GT. Look at this, more uncommon parts. I'm only excited if I get more fusion parts for it. Next season's Prestige Cup probably will be hard, with it being a new manufacturer in the game and not having a lot of fusion parts. I believe I have stage 6 tires for it, and I probably have 3 or 4 fusion parts for it. So I'm gonna have to pull it just to do the supply cup. Go figure. Here go the coup that we're racing up against now. Good start. Fire off the nose on the 3rd gear instead of 2nd. See if I can catch him. Looks like I have a shot, and I got him. Yep, but the Jeep Trackhawk, it should be nice. It looks like it's a fancy vehicle. I'm just curious, is it a big vehicle like the Evoque was? Or is it a big vehicle like the Ford Raptor? Or if it's a big vehicle like the Letty's Rally Fighter. Those are some big giant vehicles in the garage. Oh, so you told me that the transfer option was up? Because it wasn't underneath the Anonymous gang and it wasn't underneath the Tide Pod's name. It was underneath a different name. So this next race is listed as hard, so I'm going to go ahead and jump back out. Let's go pull some crates. Let's go slap the upgrades onto the car and turn that hard into easy. Alright, so before we do the upgrades, let's pull some crates. I'm going to pull 6 crates and get me that free stage 6 upgrade. Rare intake. I'm only going to call things that are not uncommon, since I've been hearing that there's been plenty of uncommon parts being given out. Transmission stage 6, nice. Let's go for the gold. Let's go for the gold. A rare transmission, a rare body, and a rare nitro. Nice. Alright, come on, go for it. Epic tire, cool. Now one thing I do find curious, this is the ZR1 1LE, but they have the 1LE up on here, and I think they had that to differentiate between the ZR1 and the ZR1LE, 1LE, because they have 2 different Camaros that are tier 5. They have the ZR1, and then they have the ZR1 1LE. So I think that's why they did an epic intake. I'll take that. Epic engine and a rare nitro. Alright, next pull. Anybody want to guess what stage 6 I'm going to get next? Yeah, the Perta, I got one stage 6, and it was a turbo. And the turbo only gave me 1 epic fusion to put on. So my car is far from being able to complete anything. So I have not completed or participated in the Ferrari again because it's just a waste of fuel. Epic, rare engine. And another rare engine. Stage 6 part. Let's go for nitro. Don't know if I had nitro or not, but let's go for nitro. Tires. I think I have tires already. Alright, so with that being said, yeah, you can have different devices, but you can use your accounts all on, you can have multiple accounts associated with your one Google account. So don't think that because you have different devices, you should have different ones. Okay, I didn't have transmission, I didn't have tires. So I'm going to show you guys currently what it looks like again. So currently 39 of 42 upgrades. Now it's about to go to 41 of 42 upgrades. And I got 79 of 128 fusion parts on there. So yeah, with your accounts, you can actually utilize one account and log in and switch between them on the same device. I do it all the time. Alright, let's go ahead and drop these rare onto the tires. And that's all we're going to fit up on this car. It's going to be rares and uncommons. There'll be no epics applied to it. And we shouldn't need anything else. We should be good to go at this point. I had stage 6 nitro already. So the game did not give me a duplicate because I was asking for a duplicate. Alright. Alright, so now let's go ahead and fiddle around and do some tuning on the car. We're going to start out with the tires. Earlier when I was fiddling around with it, the tires went up. But now that I have stage 6 tires, I could probably get more out of them than I did before. Alright, so 0 is not good for the car. 1041. Would it be 4 or 3? 4 it is. Let's go ahead and tinker around with the transmission. Transmission was real wonky earlier, as you can see. Just barely moving it around caused me to lose a lot. So no max EV with this car with transmission. Yeah, it gets real crappy, as you can tell real quick. We need to be back in our 1,000 range. Alright, so we have to leave that stock stage set up. Well, let's go ahead and flip the nitro on up. And let's see, can we get the 1200? Nope, doesn't look like we're going to get the 1200. Alright, and let's go ahead and do a free dyno session. Now it says I can go from a 10.4 before all the way to tuning down to a 9.8 with the 2 stage 6s on there. So that's plenty enough at 9.8 to be able to complete these trials. Alright, so with that being said, we're tuned. We got our fusions on there. Now our fusions is loaded up to 83 out of 128 and we're at 41 of 42 upgrades. So all these races should be easy and we should be able to knock this out in a timely manner. Back to the Prestige Cup. We're up to race 14, so we did 13 races at stage 3 with all fusions for uncommon and rare on the car, and now we should be able to finish it on out. So for those not familiar, stage 3 will get you 21 out of 42 upgrades. There's 7 different items to upgrade and 3 of those each, so that's 21 for the mathematic wizards out there. Oops. No knives needed. Next race we'll see how fast we can actually go in this puppy. So this one should be a 10-0, no 10. Wow, that's much longer than I expected it to be. Since it was a 9-8. It's a whole 1 second longer. Is Nas going to really be that fast for us? Let's find out. Alright, epic transmission. They only give you one. I think I got maybe 10 uncommons already, and they just give me one rare. Yep, everybody was saying it was a 10-1 for the final time. Alright, let's see how fast we can get this puppy to go. It was a 10-8 with no Nas. And let's see what we get with Nas. Alright. Nas does help. I got a 9985. And I do believe that that was the Dino time. I'll buy that for $1. 21,000 crew RP. Woohoo! Yay, team. Next race up. Alrighty. Race against the La Ferrari. Oh, I stalled out. So some perfects on this car will cause you to stall out, which will cause you to lose the race. Won't be my experience this time, but it can happen in future races. Alright, collected $30,000. And once again, if you guys like the videos that I'm creating, go ahead and comment, subscribe, share information that you want to see so I can provide more videos that qualify for what you guys want to see and enjoy. Alright, race up against this Ford GT and Sarah. Perfect start without stalling out. That's the only way to go. Get that extra free nickel for getting a perfect start. But yeah, so recently I've been doing the daily races for this whole crew season. So every single crew race, whether it be in the center island or the daily 15 races, I've been recording those and uploading them for you guys. And I also completed the milestone 1 vehicle walk around, so you can take a quick look at all the milestone cars that's been received. And next up, I plan on showing off my Elite License cars. So my Elite License 1 picks and then my Elite License 2 picks, what I already have, and that's going to be in preparation for the Elite License 3 coming out. Tempest 3 should hopefully be out at the end of the month. Worst case scenario, first week of March. It should be coming out with 1.17 update that Natural Motion will be pushing out. So it should come out some point in time in the middle of next season, towards the end of the next season. Because we didn't get a lot of cars in this game. We got some milestone 1 cars in the game, but we only got one car for a Prestige Cup. And that was the Jeep Trackhawk. So with only getting 1 car, we're either going to reuse cars that we have in the game for Prestige Cup, or we're going to get a new update. So 1.17 will be dropping with a new update with new cars for us. So updates coming soon. The 1.16.1 should be out. Everybody should be getting in. It's supposed to be fixing some problems. The next race button will not be coming back anytime soon for regulation races. Actually, I plan on doing that. I want to do 20 races for the 55,000. I want to record it. I think I actually have that as a goal now, so I'm going to record that just so we can see how long it takes for you to do 20 races. And I'm actually going to change cars during the 20 races too. Show off 20 of my cars and the different RP that I get for the different cars for regulation races. Gonna make it a little fun. All the cars that I pick are gonna be stage 6. They're gonna all be max upgrade. So we're gonna have a little fun with it. But hey, look forward to that video coming out. What's going on, Blue Acid? Welcome to the stream. Reward earned. 30,000 crew RP. Alright, so now we're going on. We got 20 completed races. And looks like it's frozen for you guys. This actually happened when I was recording once. Okay, it popped up. Apologize for that. If I do get any technical difficulties, I have to reboot and reset a couple different things. I'll let you know what's going on with that. So the AMG GTR, is that going to be the GTR that's the milestone car before, or is that going to be the regular old AMG GT? The tier 5 one. Tell you that FXXK that they have there in white, it looks way better than the one that they give out in the game in white. But the Fiener Super Sport, that's a nice little car with that copper brown color on it in the front and the black on the back. I like how that looks. That's a digging color there. Alrighty, so now we're going up to race number 22. We're jumping on in with the white GT again from Sarah. Sarah, you're not fast enough. Tell them to get you the faster car. Tell them to whip out the one that has 749 on there. Then you might actually finish in the same second as me, Sarah. White one becomes blue. Okay. Alright, cool. Season 31, I had that in the garage as well. And there it is again. One rare fusion. They give you a whole bunch of uncommon fusions all the time. And then with rare, they give you one. And I think one of them shows up as 2 as a prize. But then the epics are only 1. Alright, looks like it's frozen again. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and reboot this. Stand by. I need to get this process back up and running. Freezing is not good, just in case anybody was curious. Can't have it freezing on you guys. We're doing this live. Technical difficulties and everything. Of course, we don't like technical difficulties. But technical difficulties and everything. We're doing it live. Alright. Alrighty, there we go. Back up and running. Apologize for that, guys. Now we need to go ahead and resume our race. No need to restart it because we haven't actually started the race. And we're going to win it. So why burn a fuel pip restarting races? That Cuda might start out fast, but I'm going to finish faster. Bye-bye, Cuda. Don't have enough torque for me. Alrighty, race number 23 is done, and still sub 10 seconds on there, so still well faster than the 10.1 as needed. $120,000 cash is mine. Oh yeah, Anonymous Gang, remember a couple of live streams ago you was asking me why did I need more money? And you notice my money's been going down? When you gotta upgrade cars, it costs cash. And if you watch the live stream with the Aperta, it costs gold in order to remove parts and add parts on for fusions. So you wonder why I have all that inventory of cash and gold? I use it. But I only use it when I need to, so when I don't need it, I save it. So if I was broke, I wouldn't have been able to, with money, I wouldn't have been able to upgrade the GT4C Lusso, or the GTC4 Lusso, and I wouldn't have been able to upgrade the LaFerrari Aperta to complete the events. Look at that. I got more than one rare fusion part. That's like awesome. Only 2. Wow. Only 2, really? They're testing me. They're testing me. I tell you, testing me. But hey, it's all in fun. Alright, so the Continental GT3R now. And this car actually is one of the faster cars in the game. It's an undercover fast car, I like to call it. Because it looks big and heavy and bulky, but the car's pretty fast. Shoots out like a rocket. So yeah, so I had 50 million cash at one point in time. I dropped all the way down to 32 million after upgrading a whole bunch of cars. And I had probably 45,000 or 46,000 gold coins. Probably a little bit more than that. But I used a bunch stripping fusion parts off of different Ferraris and putting them onto the LaFerrari Aperta. Ooh, the Corvette ZR1 in white. Chevrolet versus Chevrolet. Let's see who has the true heavy Chevy. Guess that Corvette is not heavy enough. Nah, I have live races to do, but I'm not going to stream them today. No live streaming of races for me today. Tomorrow or Saturday, maybe I'll work out some time in my schedule in order to do that. 10 silver keys, awesome. Any particular day works for you guys? I work off of Eastern Standard or Pacific Standard Time. Either Saturday or Friday. Which day works best for you guys for a live stream of live races? And what time? Vote. If I had like, 5,000 viewers or something like that, I would do a poll, but I only have a few people, so it's easier to talk with you guys and interact and find out what you guys want. Yep, nope, it's not in my schedule today to do live races. I scheduled this point in time just to knock out these Prestige Cup. I normally do them on Monday, a little bit later on in the season. That way I can collect a couple of the free days of pulling the crate so I don't have to burn through as many silver keys, or bronze keys, excuse me, to pull out the crates. But normally I like to wait, give more of my crew an opportunity to catch up to me in RP, as well as give the crew a little boost a couple days later on in the season. Alright, here go the white versus the green. Am I going to lose? Am I going to lose? He put up a good race, but he wasn't able to beat me. Alright, 28 races down. That white one turned into the black one there. Stage 6 engine. Let's go take a look at the garage real quick and see if I can actually use that engine. I always like the bolt on, and not the biggest fan of. They did this with the Fate of the Furious events, and now they're doing it with the Ferrari events. Not the biggest fan. Nope, I already have stage 6 engine on the car, so that's just a duplicate. They could have gave me the body, and then my car would be fully upgraded with stage 6 upgrades. But, story of the life. Always get duplicates of parts that you don't need. So anybody that plays the game pretty often has a pretty vast inventory. You deal with the same problems that I just dealt with there. So now we're going up to race 29. We're going to go for 20 silver keys, and then onward to race 30 for 180,000 crew RP. So let's go ahead and knock out these 2 races. And this will be the fastest I've ever done a live stream. Maybe I shouldn't do them on Mondays after they start. Typically this is an hour and 15, an hour and 30-minute live stream. Alright, stalled out. Let's see if I can make up that time. Nope. He blew on by me. He told me, see ya. I ran a 10-3 versus the 10-2. And that white one showed up as the little burgundy color there. So white is the non-traditional color of the car. The burgundy is more traditional. If you go into live races and see people with them, you'll see them more often with the burgundy one. That was actually a milestone prize color. So my assumption is the game is showing us one in-game color versus the actual racing color of what the car is. So we race with the cars underneath one color because they did that same thing with the Ford GT. So yours is 41 or 42 as well? Awesome. How about your Fusions? Do you have a bunch of Fusions on it, or are you missing some? Alright. Guess I needed that extra fuel pip of time ticking by. So that's what I'm using now in order to get this. Now I have to get below 10.1 in order to win this race. So this last race is against the HS Customs Under Pressure, a 1969 base Camaro, versus this 2017 ZR1 1LE. No stallouts. Actually, I bolted on a bunch of Fusions onto my HS Under Pressure, thinking that that's what I would use for my supply cup. And then I realized I have another car that gets better RP per race than the HS Customs, my Tier 5 one, so I've been using that one for all of my supply cup races. If you haven't checked that out, check those videos out. You might learn a couple things from what I'm doing. So with that being said, collect my 180,000 crew RP. Now let's go ahead and go back to the garage. Take a look at my final setup. Show you the tune. Did that earlier, but hey, for people who just now showing up, they get a chance to take a look at it. Sitting at 41 of 42 upgrades, 83 of 128 Fusions on it. I have all common, uncommon, and I have all rare except for the intake. And I'm missing a stage 6 body upgrade. Nice, not bad on the Fusion. So you was able to finish it with no problem at all yourself. So this is currently where my crew is sitting at. We're sitting globally at 1,694 with 10,870,970 RP. And this is currently where I sit at. Actually, no, I have more RP for that. That's one glitch that we got with the 1.16. When you go onto the crew hangout and look at your RP, if you're in the garage, once you go into the garage, your RP doesn't update. Also, if you click on your car, so like if I click up on here, then it'll update, it does a refresh, and now it shows you the RP. So that's one glitch that I noticed with the game. You have to click on your crew stats screen to get your crew stats up, and once you get your crew stats up, it refreshes for you, and your current RP will show up on your car if you're in the garage. That's something that came about with 1.16. I'm not for sure why it came about, but you know, maybe the 1.16.2 will fix it, or maybe 1.17 to fix it back to how it was before. But that's only for your own personal RP. It doesn't change with the leaderboard. So your leaderboard stats are all going to be the same. So with that being said, this is MrXsee coming to you live and direct, doing a Prestige Cup early in the season. But you don't have to go to Wildcard. All you have to do is just click on the crew stats. Once you click on the crew stats, your own personal RP will update there. It's only crew stats. Just like I clicked before I clicked on the leaderboard, it didn't update or anything like that. I went out of the garage and came back, it didn't update it. Only clicking on the crew stats will cause it to update. Some little minor bug. It's an inconvenience, as you can see. Relatively easy to get around. But with that being said, this is MrXsee coming to you guys live and direct today doing the Prestige Cup. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I will talk with you guys later. Thanks for attending. Have a great day. Goodbye. And keep your tires to the asphalt.